Welcome to Fireside Chats with yours truly, Carter Button.
Oh, hey. I didn't see you there. So, you might wonder, what are we doing right now? What are we? I'm sitting here, speaking to a camera, no one behind it. What we're doing is we're participating in speech. Now, it's a new form of speech because I'm going you through video. But the ideas of speech have been around for forever. Because even Kronk the Caveman had to go tell Bob the Caveman to go hit the mammoth over the head so they could have some tasty food that night. Public speaking as we know it today came up during the classical period inside Greece.
Public speaking as we know it today first came into spotlight during the classical period. Even though speeches were normally used to attack political opponents and defend one's actions, but this all changed inside 1621 BC when Draco was tasked with ordering the laws into a system that made sense. This developed the rule of law inside Athens. This made everyone have to follow the law, regardless of social class or how much money he made. This idea eventually led to Athenian democracy. The only way that speech really grew was under democracy, because when you have a dictator, the dialogue is pretty simple. It's simply put, you do what I say because I'm the boss, deal with it. But under this new idea of democracy, these new ideas were allowed to flourish, and people were able to discuss and even be able to start to persuade and to vote to change minds, and it also helped grow the medium of speech even more. One of my favorite philosophers, Aristotle, wrote about the uses of speech, or rhetoric as he called it. Aristotle wrote that there are four uses for rhetoric, were to by truth and justice maintain their natural superiority. It is suited to popular audiences since they cannot follow scientific demonstrations. It teaches us to see both sides of an issue and to refute unfair arguments, and it is a means of self-defense. For Aristotle, rhetoric is the process of developing a persuasive argument, and the oratory is the process of delivering said argument. This shows how the need for good public speaking was becoming so important in this new age of democracy. Under the Romans, nothing much changed except for eventually the Romans moved more to an empire sort of system. But eventually, Rome got too big, causing its fall, and this is what led to the Dark Ages. The Middle Ages aren't exactly known as a time of progress. Rhetoric was considered pagan by the Christian rulers and barred many from using these ancient texts. The only notable thing to really come out of the whole Middle Ages was through St. Augustine, who was a teacher of rhetoric before he converted to Christianity in 386 AD. He worked on more ideas about how to use better speech to reach people for Christianity. Luckily, Augustine's ideas caught on and created more discussion that led to more and more breakthroughs that eventually led, even slowly, to the Renaissance period.
The word Renaissance means rebirth, and that's pretty much what happened during the Renaissance. The Greek and Roman ideals of old, especially with things towards rhetoric and speech, were beginning to revive during the time when it was no real progress of ideas in the Middle Ages.
While the medieval period pushed for people to stop thinking for themselves and to accept whatever the Catholic Church said, the Renaissance pushed for empiricism and logical thinking. At this time, many philosophers such as John Locke and Thomas More championed ideas of freedom, democracy, and open dialogue.
Another seemingly strange group were the humanists, that also began producing new ideas about speech that still affect us to this day.
Another important, yet seemingly strange, humanist, Petrarch, was also very fundamental in the development of speech. Not only did Petrarch recover the works from the Greeks, but he provided a new philosophy that said that humans had worth and could do great things. Even though he does look a bit loony, Petrarch focused not on the natural world, but instead he focused on the human ability and our own unique talents and ideas.
In conclusion, through the spreading of Petrarch's ideals, they not only were the intellectual class being blessed with knowledge and all this speech, but even the commoners were getting evolved through just the logical succession of how democracy works, that eventually speech became a part of everyday life for just about everyone. And even today, it's still very important, and it will be for the future.
Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.